this, I think the practice is June 4th and June 6th. So a long time ago, early. And I mean, we've had the guys 2 or 3 days. And I'm just going to start. I mean, this is just different way. We talked about we'll do 10, 15 minutes of skill. Then we may introduce a concept. So I'm just going to show a couple shooting quote unquote drills, but as you'll see, we're just working different actions. And I hope this video shows. So here's just some shooting work. So we're just working a little chase action here. And what we're really trying to focus on is get downhill into the lane. And we're trying to stop here on 2 feet. As you can see, our player really driving it hard to score. We always feel like if we can puncture the lane like that, playing behind is going to be open. And so now we're passing here. You'll see he's shot stopping, and now we're going to a dribble at. So in this case, we're going to a handoff, and we're practicing that the guy shoots sitting under the screen. He's going to shoot that shot. The guard who had just, now we got him coming off a pin. He's coming for a shot, really working feet, and then we're posting the big there. And so what you see there are all, we're just working a bunch of actions. I'll run it back. So we start with a little chase action here. He hits, comes downhill 2 feet, boom. And so we're talking, we're coaching, hey, really stop, play behind, shot stop. Now we want to be patient in that corner, hand off, and now shot there. We want to make sure shoulders are square. Our other guard coming off the baseline, he's getting feet behind, maybe a little late on his feet, but he's square, shoots it, and then we're going to play inside to finish. So we get 3 shots, a lot of actions, and we're trying to play quickly. Let it run regular. Same thing, chase, 2 feet, play behind, go into a handoff. Great job getting his feet down, shoulder square here, and finish him with a pin, shot, finish there. Chase, 2 feet, and you can see coach coming in here to stop it, probably because it doesn't look necessarily great in live. We're not driving to score. And so now he's just coming in to teach, hey, this is what we're looking for. Where's the handoff occurring? Playing with space. I'll speed through this. But what we're really doing here, Tony, is just working different concepts, just different. Like this is clearly not a set for us. These are just actions that we can play and where we're getting shots, but we're also teaching our guys. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. And I like that I'm glad you included one where coach is stepping in because he does that a lot. And I like that. I think sometimes when coaches ask me for drills, they just want to drill and it just becomes a shooting drill. And I think that you almost miss the opportunity to teach because, you are ripping your offense. And I've seen him multiple times. Even it's just even like a foot or an inch if they're not in the right spot, like maybe they're standing below the elbow and he wants it more on the top of above the elbow, that kind of thing. But you guys are very detailed about even where you're standing on the floor. I've seen him stop and teach handoff, like how to receive a handoff, where to receive the handoff, not having too much space in between the handoff. Those micro skills become even important within this, and it's like no time is lost, I guess.
No, you're exactly right. And it puts a lot of pressure on the assistants too. I mean, you want to make sure you're dialed into detail. So now we've just switched angles on the floor. Now we're playing out of a split, which we'll see some of this live. So kind of our split action comes here, and we're talking about, so like new player, he just to be honest, he's going too early. As you can see, the split's not even there yet, but he's going underneath. We're hitting him. Now we're playing to a shot and a shot, just working, again, different actions that we may see, during the game. So we're trying to work those. And you'll see Coach Owens is there coaching. I'm in here, so we're playing different things. Pops his feet. So this time he's going over. We missed the cut, but shot, and shot. And we were a little late getting to that. And so, again, just the idea of we're going to rep actions that we see. He's coming for the handoff. Now he's on 2. We get a finish and 2 shots. So we're trying to get 3 shots with everything, just changing up different actions, players playing to their skill set, and also, coach could be on the other end telling us what to do. I'm not exactly sure here. So we get a back cut with a finish, shot, just different things that are going to be a part of our offense.
Because I'm glad you mentioned, I think it's something different too. Timing is a big deal and a big part of when you run this style of offense. Yep. And you guys frequently stop not just for the micro skills, but also for the timing of things. And so doing it this way allows you to teach, like I said, multiple things. It's not just the skills, it's not just getting shooting reps up, but the timing as well. And I think it allows to be able to work on that because there's no real defense out there. And so the guys can get that they're not focused on too many things where it becomes like overload to them.
That's right. And, early on, this is overload, right? I mean, it's so many things. And I think when concepts are new, it's usually too fast. We want to play with great pace, but, the old John Wooden, be quick, don't hurry. Early on, everybody's hurried. And you're going to see that as we go to some of these live clips, people are, because it's just not second nature yet. And so really working on, hey, slow down, teach players how to play, teach them how to think, teach them how to react, teach them how to read. And, it takes a lot of time, but that's what summer is for in our system. Because our gym, we're renovating our arena. So we're in the practice gym. So I've tried to the filming's not ideal. So I've tried to pick stuff on this side of the floor. Now we're going to sort of build on the act we may have just practiced, but we're 3-on-3 here. Again, trying to work time, pace, and just read. So it's not going to be perfect. That's okay. Again, this is like the third day of practice, so it's going to be messy, but I figured that may be helpful. Mm-hmm. So we're playing what we would call, at the splits. Want to set our feet. We didn't really set the cut up here in the corner, but he's going. So he goes back door right there, and you can see we get a little confusion. Garrett, who's really good, sees the pass, makes a backdoor cut, and now we're going to play out of it. So we're just repping those actions again. Oh, I left this on here because you can see we're walking. We're not getting to quick transitions. Part of our practice is being ready to go. So the transition doesn't happen quick enough, so we're on the line. We're going to run because we don't want to waste any time. I won't bore you with the sprint, but now we're going to give them a quick down and back. Just trying to get that urgency of, hey, this is how we're doing. Same thing. So what we had here, a little back cut. He sees us not there. So Ed goes back door. Now he realizes, hey, we're playing out of the split. So he's going to wait. He's coming over because his defender is low. They'll probably switch that, but that's okay. He's coming over. You can see there's space. Coop is setting this screen here. Ed doing a nice job of he can rise up and shoot. As he does, biggest mistake, his shoulders and body. You can see he doesn't get everything around. So that's a shot we need to work on. See his feet, how open they are here, and consequently he misses the ball left. But he made the right read. His defender was low. We came into it. Here's his defender there. So he's going to come straight over for a handoff, and we have no problem with him rising up and shooting that shot, which looks just like the shooting we just did. Same thing. Now, this is good. It's kind of a broken play, but we get the ball to Garrett, our quarterback of our offense here. He's a fifth-year player. He's great at directing traffic. So now he's kind of running the show here. And so he's telling them what to do. Hey, let's go play one. Right there. Comes over. Now, one thing we would say here, when you come for this handoff, when the defender is chasing, we want to really pressure the goal. Nick he's brand new in this. That's not really the angle we would want. We want him coming downhill, really trying to force the defense to do something. And, he gets on 2 feet, misses, he doesn't really force the 5 to play here. And so we really don't get anything. We get a short mid-range shot. That's not a shot typically we'd love to take there. Again, playing the splits. This is so PJ's coming through. He feels his defender trailing, so he's just going to slip this cut. As you can see, now there would be help here, right? But we're just trying to teach him how to see it. So as PJ's going, as he's going to screen, he's going to slip it this way. When that happens, Ed should now pop back here. And instead of running over the ball, we would prefer him pop back and let Coop come get him. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. But Ed does a nice job of setting the cut up, gets level. And now we need to be able to hit this right here on an empty screen. We call it a trip screen. That's probably a pocket pass we need to be able to play, but he still makes a good pass. And one of the things we talk about in our offense is 2 shots on every cut. So he cuts here. That's shot 1 is at the basket. Shot 2, he's going to sprint out for this shot. So you're going to get to see he sets him up, helps frozen right there. Ed could go here for the trips or right there to PJ. for the shot. So that's the second shot. And if we're being critical, the one thing we tell Ed he has to do, that's got to be a better pass. A bad pass takes a great shooter to a good shooter, a good shooter to an average shooter. We want to make great passes so that they are what they are. But still, you get an idea of the concept we're looking for here. Same thing, kind of setting it up. He's coming over. Garrett doesn't give it to him. Fine. Now we're playing this single side here. We would prefer, again, this ball to get here, but it doesn't. We dribble at, he goes back door, it's not there. But one thing Garrett does such a good job is now we're playing in concept. So, hey, let's come back, let's play, let's get a handoff. I'm going to chase it, play on two, pop it, back to a handoff, back cut. So pretty good there. You got to see a lot of, none of that is clean, right? That's not, doesn't look like necessarily the way we drew it up, but we're able to continue to put pressure on the defense and play the next concept.
I like the two cuts with every shot. And then I also like, you can see it with Garrett. The older players seem to do a good job with this, but just keeping the dribble alive so that you can get to the next concept. I've spent a lot of time this summer talking about like stringing concepts together and triggers within things. And it seems very simple and maybe oversimplifies things. But I think that one of the easiest ways to do that is by players just keeping their dribble alive, kill your pace and everything when you pick the ball up.
You do. And you see, what Garrett and you see what an important position that quarterback is for us. We don't call him a 5. We don't call him a center. They're our quarterback. They're running the show. And it takes time to learn how to do it, but you're orchestrating what's going on here. Ed comes from the handoff, a little confusion defensively, which is what we want. The 5 has to show. Again, we want Ed to get his feet around more, but he's driving. He's on 2 there and plays power through. And again, I put that on there because that finish is exactly what we worked on. He gets in there, he's on 2, he doesn't launch and gives himself a chance to make a bucket. Mm-hmm. Same thing, 2 feet. We allow that shot because he can hit it. He's on 2 feet. One thing you're noticing in those clips, and again, this is the third day, most of the players are running what we call over the ball. What will happen in time is they'll start to vary. You'll get more back cuts. You'll get more curls instead of just coming over. But as they're learning it, they kind of always run to the ball. And so we have to really coach it. Hey, quit going over the ball. Back cut. Be unselfish. It doesn't matter if you get the ball. It's going to come back to you. Just like the shot we had on the second shot a little bit ago. He went back cut on that and got the second shot. He's a little older. He's done it. He trusts it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And I think too, with that back cut, the burn cut that you guys use, that doesn't just get you a shot. I think sometimes we're like, well, it didn't get us a shot. So it was kind of pointless for us to do that. I've noticed that it basically creates more space for you to get to the next action. So you can now, you get that like empty side a lot of times. Yes. And then you get a 2-man game that you can play out of. And now it becomes very difficult because help has to decide, do we want to help on the roll or whatever? And then that kind of allows you to spray it to the other side and get open shots. I hadn't really thought about that, but that seems to be kind of like one of the core things in your offense that actually generates something after that if you don't get the score off of it.
100%. And something Coach Ritchie says all the time, cutting is character. And we want that to be a core of our program. Hey, it's unselfish. You may not get the ball. That's not why you're cutting. You're cutting because the defense told you to. You're cutting because it's the right play. You're occupying a defender. You're moving the basketball. You're moving the eyes. Yes, we want a backdoor layup, but like you said, now we've just frozen the guy in help. Now we're 2 and empty. Cutting is character. And so getting guys to cut hard, it's very similar. Like we play really fast. We get up and down the floor and all coaches, all teams, we want to play fast. Well, it's really hard. It's really hard to play fast because it takes a ton of effort to continually run and sprint the floor, even if you don't get the ball. Well, the same thing about cutting. I don't know many coaches that would say, we really don't want to cut in our offense. Everybody knows you have to move the ball, move people, and create space, but it's really hard to get guys to do it because they're used to having the ball in their hands. So it's a great point you made. So here, I have a couple more clips. This is out of offense, but it kind of goes back to the very first things you saw shooting. This is just, hey, we're playing 3-on-3 and getting into concept. So the ball's centered up in the middle of the floor. All right, we hit an elbow. Now we're playing a chase game. He's coming downhill, puts a lot of pressure on the defense here. Garrett gets a piece of him. Pretty good screen by Garrett. Well, now Garrett's going to pop. Okay, he could have shot, didn't like it. We have great spacing on the backside with the shooter here. Garrett just gives a slight shot stop, just looks at the goal, gets Cooper off his feet, and now Garrett goes in. So, again, just our concepts here, we're just playing. Like it's just playing basketball. Okay, we're kind of playing out of the porch here. So we get a back cut, don't like it, get another back cut, and get bent on the rim there. Again, this is not, I mean, this is just reading. Like they're just playing. We're just putting the ball in different areas. Back cut because his defender overplayed. So that's a great cut by Tom, right? Boom. Now, Charles is now playing out because he didn't like what he had. And here, and I'll be critical, and Tom is new, but what we would want Tom here is cut hard, and then what's he need to do? Well, he needs to fill out hard because honestly, his defender is still in help position here. Now we get away with it because Ben gets overplayed and gets a dunk, but does that make sense? We would much prefer him to cut hard here and then cut just as hard out to move his help, just like you were talking about. And great help, great pass, and then Ben makes a good finish. Just another concept. We're playing. He goes underneath, back cut, 2 feet, not sure what he wants. All right, let's keep playing. So what we never want is when we don't, when a certain action fails, that everybody freezes. So now we're just going to keep playing out of this, and Coop's going to do a nice job, and I'm sure Coach Owens is helping him. We're going to dribble. We're going to step up dribble. Again, remember that very first shooting drill we did? Mm-hmm. Looks something like that. Doesn't have it. He doesn't get it. Passes. And you can see this is a lot. Now this is a ton of different action there. And none of that was perfect. But one thing that kept happening was what? Well, the defense had to play. Look at all the different things the defense has to play here. Yeah. So we start here. We get sort of a split action. He goes under, doesn't have it. Now we get to an empty ball screen, kind of misses it here. He gets on 2 feet, doesn't turn it over. Well, now we're playing out of the porch. Now Coop's going to step up here, so we get to an open. Well, now we come back, another empty to a spin. Just a ton of action there. Occupy the help. Again, not a great pass, but a great footwork, shot ready, and big shot there.